Test, test, mic test. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Let me just make sure our screen is being shared. The camera is going on, and we should be live. Alrighty, let me just get my screens. I work off of three screens, and so sometimes it looks like I'm staring over on the far side of the on the far side of the office here. But welcome everyone, Gil here. Thank you for joining us on our afternoon session. Our main focus for this 12 noon Monday through Friday webinar is building an income producing website, whether it's a part-time income, couple $100, or if we're talking the serious buku bucks, 10, 20, or six-figure months here on the internet. So welcome. My name is Gil. If it's your first session joining us here, this is part of an ongoing series. So I want to make sure you didn't just stumble upon in the middle of this particular series. There are previous videos which would help get you caught up and bring you up to speed on what's going on in our sessions here today. Now, the GoToWebinar control panel is open for any questions, feedback, and clarifications. Please go ahead and type them in. That way we can address those concerns and help keep you moving forward. Now, I do see a couple of our group coaching students already logged on, as well as members of our accountability group. Welcome, guys. And if you guys got stuck over the weekend, updating your websites. Maybe it was a WordPress theme. I think Steve, I just checking some of my emails. I'm not quite sure if you were able to successfully install WordPress, but Lauren was able to. I believe she was able to. So I'll touch base with you guys. Make sure you're able to successfully install WordPress and. The theme inside of the WordPress account. I'll go ahead and touch base here with some of our panelists and co-presenters. Lauren, go ahead and do a mic test for everybody, please.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. We can see it clearly as well.
Awesome.
There's a nice little artwork going on there in the background. Awesome, awesome.
You're
Perfect.
welcome.
So we can hear you, see you loud and clear. Give us an overview of what we've got going on today. Before you do that, rather, we do have some new people checking us out here for the first time. So want to make sure you guys know this is a two-part format, okay? We've got our group coaching students and business clients that log in on these sessions. And so the session is broken down into two main components. The first half caters to our business and group coaching clients who are implementing internet marketing strategies and various campaigns, all right, for their particular websites, whether it's to drive traffic, increase lead conversion, or open up new lead sources. So Lauren is responding to these business clients that are looking for a particular topic. We put together a nice little series to break down and address those questions. That way they can get it in the 30 minute session and implement it right there in their business. The second half of these daily sessions on our internet marketing webinar is how I am recreating and rebuilding a website that built a little over 20,000 here on the internet. And so you get to follow along step by step along with that series. And I've got some nice updates for you guys as well as the videos that are available for you guys to start swiping or go ahead and embed them in your site for content. I'll explain more on that later, okay? But just a quick overview. If you guys haven't been checking out the site over throughout the weekend, I did make some awesome updates to it. I was racking my brains on how to, finally get a nice, good layout for everything, and the biggest challenge that I was facing is that I almost was thinking to myself, do I end up having like 4 or 5 websites? How do I just kind of narrow it all, bring it all together in one particular website? And this seems to have been a similar challenge for a lot of you that are just getting started that haven't quite picked out a niche or you're not quite sure about the industry to jump in on. Now, by default, okay, to get you unstuck and started within 24 hours or less, start a website or a blog about your journey on financial freedom or your journey towards success. Now, regardless of what vehicle you end up picking at the end of the day, that's absolutely fine. The biggest thing is being able to put together the website. So, in responding to the our accountability partners, I'll address how I was able to go from, or at least bring in multiple themes and concepts into one organized house and website. Once you've mastered and are comfortable building a website, you have 1,000 or more subscribers, and you're hitting your income goals per month, then you can start to make lateral movements and branch out into other websites. But let's get one connected first. So I addressed those concerns, incorporated that in my own website, and you're going to see how I have different quote unquote themes or topics, but was still able to make sense of everything so that I can move forward and promote one main website. Okay, so I'll break that down in my segment here. Lauren, what have we got here today? Yep, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. So we'll kind of go in with the website because I'm also doing the following along and building up my website too. So I had a lot of, I definitely put the foundation in it this weekend.
Nice.
So I think I'm really liking the layout and all of that stuff. So yeah, eager to, keep following along with your session. And then for mine, for either my business, coaching students that already have had websites, then we're going to be touching on a few different paid instant traffic strategies this
Awesome.
week. So
I
we touched
will.
on.
I'll go
Mhm.
ahead and make you a presenter so you can tinker with the slides. Yes.
Yeah, do you want me to jump into that now?
Yeah, yeah. We are ready to. We are
Perfect.
good to go. Yep, yep,
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to keep my stuff relatively short since I know that you have a lot of website building stuff to do and a lot of people are doing that part.
yep, yep. Go for it. And then you should already be a presenter. I don't know if it's. Is it working?
I didn't see anything pop up.
Make presenter. Why is it not popping up here? Okay, I'm just gonna try to tinker with the other settings. I'm gonna try. Okay, the muting you works. Um, but we want to make you. There you go. Clicking OK will make this. Bingo. There you go. So
Perfect.
you
Okay.
should be. Just go ahead and share the portion of your screen, and
Can you guys see that?
yes, see it quite
Perfect. And
nicely.
then just remember that I can't see shoot, what am I trying to say? I can't see chat questions, so if there's any questions, you just have to let me know verbally.
Bingo. No problem.
Awesome. Perfect. So we're going to continue, like I said, with some paid traffic strategy. The first one, kind of an intro today into solo ads. So, before I was ever, in learning all this stuff on marketing, I had never even heard of that. So definitely I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an overview of what that is, and then we'll delve into the particulars later on this week. So basically a solo ad is someone sends out an email to their list exclusively about your offer. So it's basically it's their undivided attention, and then you're able to leverage somebody else's highly targeted list. So how does that, a lot of people that are doing internet marketing know and they're very skilled in solo ads. So that's definitely something, if that's your niche in business, definitely a great traffic source. But for all of my business clients, it was like, okay, wait, so how can this relate to me and my business? So here's definitely some ideas. So pretty much the idea is that somebody else's mailing list. So here, if my target is something to do with birds, here's a bird lover website. They have a newsletter and bing, join our mailing list here. Somebody was interested in marketing, same thing. People join their mailing list. And then there's a mom website. So remember, with my business, that's kids' birthday parties and things like that. So that would definitely be a list that I would be interested. So basically, it's people that already have a website. It might be just information, it might be a bunch of different things. But if there's a mailing list involved, that is their quote unquote list. And that's what you're looking to leverage and target. So basically, that's kind of the idea of what a solo ad is. So it's finding and researching different, active people that are in your niche and finding, like we said, those highly targeted lists are what you want to do. So with me, hey, this one mom site might be good. However, if I keep doing it, I might find an even better, highly targeted, mommy website that would be a better idea, because like this one is a general one. Well, maybe since I'm a local business, I need to look for and find a newsletter or something for just Southern California moms. So that's kind of where it gets the ball rolling. How broad is your target, and or are you a local business and need to find, for example, if I own a restaurant in Los Angeles, a great list might be, if there's local, restaurant review websites, and hey, sign up for my newsletter here, to get coupons or something on local eateries. Well, that would definitely be a website or a list that you would want to target if you have a restaurant, because they're already getting those lists of subscribers. They're local people in your area that like food. Excellent target, if you own a restaurant. And then even
Yeah.
more particulars, maybe, oh, yeah, go.
No, I wanted to add and build on that concept, right?
Yeah,
Again,
sure.
to make it clear, solo ads. So that's related to the restaurant industry, right? And if you want to build out a list of loyal customers to your particular restaurant, and if you're a brand new restaurant or you're just looking to revive traffic or foot traffic, you can find a solo ad vendor that caters to bloggers who review restaurants. That's one,
Mm.
right? You can also put yourself on the other side. Instead of targeting bloggers, you can target directories for local restaurant owners or associations, right? Different associations. So let's say Pasadena would maintain its own list of local restaurateurs, cafes, and shop owners, right? So I can place a solo ad on there. They'll blast it to their entire list, and it's a highly targeted. At least you are getting prospects or people in the food and beverage restaurant type of industry. And I like how you related it to birds a little bit.
Mm.
If you can find a Bird Lovers Club mailing list, chances are you can find one for your particular industry or niche. So go ahead,
Exactly.
Lauren.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Perfect, just to build upon it. So yeah, it's kind of thinking outside of the box, and that's where, my aspect comes in, because I'm like the business owner advocate and say, hey, how do we relate this to our local small business, instead of just, these are awesome strategies for internet marketing, and how do you tweak it and go to your list? And that's definitely what my group coaching kind of works with, is we mastermind and figure out the best possibilities for your niche. And definitely like Gil saying, hey, restaurants are great, but if you own a restaurant in Pasadena, it's much better to get a highly targeted list for, food, restaurants in Pasadena. And even, hey, maybe you can find, pizza place directory in Pasadena if you own a pizza shop. And that's extremely highly targeted. So it's just, whether it's out there or not, it's just researching it and coming out with the best possible directories and newsletters and all of that stuff that you can find for solo ads. Perfect. So hopefully you kind of get a sense of what we're going to be talking about there, and how to basically find it and go about contacting these is definitely stuff that we're going to get more into later on. So pretty much, why a solo ad? Well, here's the thing. It gets leads and opt-ins fast. It's targeted traffic. And remember, these are strategies that have nothing to do with SEO. So, part of it, yes, you need to master all the SEO and getting found on Google, but there's other ways, especially if you like, instant gratification pretty much, that you can go ahead and get a lot of traffic and a lot of leads super fast by leveraging other people's existing lists. It's very easy to start, and the cool part is if you set it up right, it's pretty much on autopilot. So you go ahead, you purchase your ad, it runs with it. You're never having to talk to all of these, clients and things like that. You've set it up, using all the skills that, we've mentioned or are going to go in more detail on. But you've set it up. The people, they blast out that email, with your offer, and people are interested, and you have absolutely nothing to do with it. So that's pretty awesome to start building your customer database, pretty much on autopilot. And it's also scalable, as in you don't have to just do one solo ad with one company. You can, if you're a restaurant in Pasadena, hey, you can do, something like that for Pasadena. Maybe, well, if you got some good things. Maybe you want to go with the surrounding areas as well, or maybe you want to go into, maybe if there's something, not restaurants, but like you say, maybe a directory and talking to business owners and networking that way. So there's not just, one solo ad you have to look at. There's lots of different possibilities, and with paid traffic, kind of the more you spend, the faster you grow. So it's definitely very scalable, and it's also pretty predictable. Once you get it down to a science and you go through and implement all the stuff that I'm going to be talking to you guys about this week, on the things that you need to look for in pre-screening and making sure that you get the metrics on their list and all sorts of things with that, it's actually very predictable traffic. They kind of get a feeling of their list. If they're familiar with solo ads, they can give you all those metrics and know exactly, the average kind of people that are going to be interested in the offer. So you can almost guarantee how many lists or how many subscribers you're going to add, which is another awesome benefit of this. But just, to kind of reinstate, a solo ad is fantastic. It gets you the leads and the opt-ins. Relating that to a business, hey, it just means, if you have a pizza place in Pasadena, you're suddenly getting a lot of emails from people that are most likely in Pasadena that like pizza. So that's awesome. So you're collecting their email address, but that doesn't mean that they're a customer of yours yet. A solo ad is just a way to capture their information. So it's a fantastic, fast way to do that, but you still have to go ahead and follow up with them and start building a relationship. So this is just a way to start collecting their information, but it's still up to you to turn them into a customer. So definitely keep that in mind. And you also need to start with the end in mind. So what's the goal of the ad that you're placing? Is it you want to actually get sales out of it? Perhaps, going back to that pizza place in Pasadena, is the email that they're going out to their list, is it saying, hey, come in, on Tuesday and get half off your entire order or something like that, like a really awesome coupon to drive people in? Is that what you want the target of your solo ad to be? Or is it perhaps just, hey, we have lots of specials going on, a great new pizza place opening up, put in your information here to get the latest coupons? So is it more that it's just an opt-in rather than a sale? So just figure out, and it's a lot of it is trying it out. There's no perfect recipe when it comes down to your niche versus the newsletter. It's all about trial and error, and that's the scary but fun part of marketing, is that you get your creativity involved and you take all the things that we're talking to you guys about, like the power of videos and influencing and how to sell and all the stuff that we've talked about, and bring that in and try it out with your solo ads. You can do what we call split testing, which is, maybe you want to go ahead and send, a coupon for one and just a regular, kind of high opt-in for the other, see which gets you better results. So you definitely work with your end in mind, figure out what it is, and try different options. And here's the best part, like they say, is that a break even's okay. If you don't get a lot of things out, basically what that means is that, if you end up making only a tiny bit of sales, well, guess what? You still added a bunch more customers to your database that, they might not have, come to your pizza place today or on this special, but you still have their information, and there's a pretty good chance that they will become a customer of yours in the future if you know how to build that relationship well. And then just a reminder that the fortune is definitely made on the follow-up. Cool. And then definitely a big part is, remember that customer avatar that we've talked about. If if you're not sure what that is, definitely go catch some replays. But it's basically, to kind of give a quick overview for anyone who's not familiar with that term that we use, is to keep in mind kind of what your target customer is. For my case, doing kids' birthday parties with animals, which is my local business, my avatar is, a mom. She has little kids that are usually about under 5 to 6 years old, and they're looking for something with a birthday party. So that's my avatar. Whether it's up to you how detail oriented you want to be, whether it's a stay-at-home mom versus a working mom. I'm not worried about that aspect in my business, but definitely that would be things, depending, and you'd have to look at it in your niche if you need to know that info. For me, it's just kind of the gist that it's definitely a parent, probably a mom with younger kids. So I start to know my list, which also means as I get customers, hey, what are things that moms with little kids might need? Oh, that's how you start to monetize it, which is stuff we'll go into later. But just remember that avatar and who it is that you want. For me, it would definitely be moms in that business. If it's the pizza place, well, what does your avatar look like? What is your average customer that's coming in? Are you a high-end pizza place, so you're looking for people that have more money, or are you're kind of great prices, so you get a lot of people in the door. So definitely know who your customer avatar is and keep that in mind when you're looking for the different lists that you want to go ahead and place your solo ad. Um, at the same time, if they're familiar and active in placing solo ads, then they should have a lot of information about their lists. Some of these things down here is kind of, how often are their list people buying things? How often do they do it? Are they spamming them so they're getting inundated with emails every day if they like restaurants in Pasadena, or is it a couple times a week? So these are all information that you definitely need to be aware of, and we'll talk about later on where that kind of builds into things. But definitely make sure that you have in mind what your customer is and make sure that that matches with the list that you're interested in purchasing an ad for. Anything to add on there, Gil?
I think, no, very good examples. I do want to stress on the part where you remember to keep your avatar in mind, right? Because if you are in the industry, for example, we have somebody on here that's in the health and fitness niche. You will not buy a solo ad from somebody in the home gardening space, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's just, it's common sense for others, but not so common these days, oddly enough. But, again, you want to make sure it's in the same niche as you are in. Also, Kyle asked a really good question. I'll break that down here in a second. But before anybody goes out there and starts buying solo ads, this is a paid media traffic. I have a recommended list of vendors for you to check out. This is based on vendors that have provided high quality clicks, and they have a good list, right? They maintain quality. They're actually they're buyer type of lead sources. These are active internet marketers who cater to some of the biggest internet marketers. So I'll give you guys a couple of vendors that you can call around and check out. And it's only going to be a handful of them, but at least you aren't starting off with a Google search and wondering which solo ad vendor you're going to go with, because there's a gazillion of them out there. Some people build huge lists, but they're absolute the quality is just terrible. So I want to put you in touch with vetted vendors and people that cater to live and active internet marketers, right?
Yes,
Other than that,
exactly.
go ahead, Lauren.
Cool. Yeah, so this is just stuff, like I said, it's kind of just keeping in mind. We'll definitely delve into what all of these things apply to, as we go along. Like I said, it's kind of like an intro and an overview of what to expect for this week. Cool. And then also going along with that is, it's helpful, it's not required, if the list provider can give you kind of like a profile on their avatar. So you have to keep in mind what your target avatar is, and then also what is the list's avatar as well, and see if they match up well with you. You definitely, if it's just like for me, if I'm looking at mommy blogs and that's what I want to go ahead and do, and okay, well, mine are, my target is probably a mom in her 30s or 40s. They have a little bit more money, so they can spend money on kids' birthday parties versus, let's say, if it's a list for, teen moms, well, that would probably not be my good target audience because most of those, are younger people with not as much money. So that would have been a waste if my solo ad was for, moms, but the age was wrong. So hopefully that's kind of a good example of definitely the stuff that you have to keep in mind and make sure your target avatar matches your list's avatar as well. Cool. So pretty much the idea of mastering it, and like I said, it's an overview on this regard, but make sure, so you need to make sure that you have a targeted list. So that's kind of what we touched a little bit on. Make sure that your offer is very compelling, and that's definitely stuff. If you're not quite sure on if your offer is good enough, that's what we offer in group coaching, where we can kind of bounce ideas off each other. as well as you can definitely go through all of our free training from all the webinars where we talk about how to write and how to make sure that whatever it is you're coming across will definitely sell. So make sure that one, you found a good list, but if you can't write a good offer, you're not really going to get any opt-ins or sales or whatever your goal is. And then the extra step with that is, to have a converting funnel. So that's where the autopilot comes on. If you're not at the stage to have a funnel, that's okay. I know a lot of business owners, they might not have one yet. For the people in the group, that's okay. It just means that you're going to have to be spending more time, on the phone or emailing back and forth to people if you don't have an autopilot funnel, which is definitely an awesome, thing that we're working on. And through Gil's aspect, where we're working on building that website, those are all kind of the autopilot funnels. But definitely make sure that there has to be that the funnel is basically your follow-up. So whether it's on autopilot or you're manually having to do it, just keep in mind solo ads are a way to get people to your door, but your job is to have to convert them into sales. Cool. And then kind of breaks down into 60% is the list. So that's definitely what we're going to be focusing on tomorrow, is
Awesome.
how to really make sure that you have that list down. 30% comes down to the actual offer. So is it a compelling offer, whatever it is that you're trying to entice them to? And then only 10% comes down to that actual email that's sent. So these are all the different things that we're going to be talking and breaking down for the rest of the week. Cool. Anything to add there, Gil?
Nope.
Or I'll transition back to you.
Yeah, go ahead and put the screen back on this end, and we will go ahead and keep moving forward here. A couple solo ad questions that I will address. Steve, were you able to install your WordPress theme? Do let me know if you're finally
No,
able.
I just made the one attempt. I tried uploading the two different files, but neither of them
Lauren,
I got to work.
did you get the
Yeah,
file to work?
yeah, the first time, no, maybe I can probably talk to Steve one-on-one unless other people, definitely if you're having issues, go ahead and, maybe we want to do it on the set if other people are coming into troubles with it. What I discovered is the first time when I was trying to download it, it didn't work because I went initially in through the plugins. I had to go through, and go into the theme options and install the theme that way. And then from there, I was able to kind of accidentally, it just happened to work. But it was the second document, and it was it was one that said zip. All I know is when I was working on plugins, it wasn't working. When I switched and I went through the theme, then it worked.
Yeah, you won't be able. You got to install it in the theme section, not the plugin section.
Okay, well, I don't know if that's what Steve's doing. That's what I was trying to do because I was in plugins and it was a plugin, but it wasn't a theme plugin.
Judging by Steve's response, did you
I'm not
install
sure.
it
I
in the
don't think so.
plugin?
Yeah, I think I was
I don't.
uploading it to the themes and I was using the zipped file.
Got it. All
So I
right.
went to like
Okay.
appearance. Yeah,
Well, we'll
Well,
take
I
that
don't know.
one.
I messed it up and hey, it worked. So,
yeah,
Try it
that's cool.
out. Try to install it while you're on this session. In the meantime, we'll take that conversation offline. If anybody else is having trouble with the themes, let me know while we are live on this session. Now, Lauren just talked about solo ads. Solo ads is a paid marketing traffic tool where you can get a dedicated audience sent to your particular blog. With the right squeeze page and the right website layout, you're going to be able to convert some of those into subscribers or appointments, sales, product sales, or even roll them into a webinar. Okay. So at this stage in the game, for those of us that are launching our website, our desired outcome, our goal is to have a solo ad vendor who has a good relationship with their list, meaning when he says, check out this email, people open the email, they will click on the link and they will go to our particular website. Okay. And so I'm going to use a couple of paid solo ad vendors who will help me build my subscribers list. That's going to be one of those strategies. And I'll put together a campaign step by step showing you how we're going to accomplish that. Now, when it comes to solo ads, like any vendor that, any industry that is out there, there may be a ton of vendors. Okay. And so you want to work with a solo ad vendor that has a good track record, that's been able to help internet marketers transition from part-time to full-time, or at least hit some serious income goals. For example, I own and operate my own real estate marketing company. Okay. And there's other real estate marketing companies that claim to offer and do the same. What sets us apart is that we have a track record of being able to help our clients transition and go full time in their business, or hit some serious income goals, whether it's a couple $1,000 or build out a six-figure real estate business throughout the course of the year. Now, would you prefer to deal with a company like ours? Or would you prefer to deal with some random other company out there who may or may not deliver on the quality of your marketing or even get it out? So that's what that's what I mean when there's a lot of vendors. Work with the right ones. So I will be uploading a list for our group coaching students so that you guys have vendors that have been tested and have been able to help people, build out an income producing websites just off of solo ads. Okay. We are going to be covering at least 48 other lead and traffic sources as part of this series. But just on solo ads, it is possible to build an income producing website and transition into becoming a full-time internet marketer, a blogger, or a website editor, and you're now living off of your website. Okay. So that's going to be made available to our group coaching students. Please contact the person where you are viewing this webinar and inquire about the group coaching so that you can get started. It's something ridiculous like $1 a day. And so hopefully that doesn't break the bank, but that does give you access to, at the very least, reliable solo ad vendors. Now, their packages generally start at about $100. I think Kyle is taking a look at a vendor who is charging him $100 for 300 unique clicks. And he's asking, is that clicks into your email or to your landing page? Okay. Those clicks, once their list or their audience clicks, all right, that's the unique click, it's going to go into your squeeze page, your landing page, or your website. I recommend direct them into a squeeze page. Okay, regardless of what your website is going to be about, or the niche, or the marketing, the industry, company, product, you want to capture those subscribers and those leads. Okay, if you don't send them to a capture page, a squeeze page, or a landing page, then that's 300 visitors who will go on your website. Okay, view the information. Some of them will like it, some will hate it, some will want more information, some people will want to subscribe. All right. And if you don't capture those emails, then you're not maximizing your marketing budget and ad campaign. You're definitely leaving revenue on the table. Lauren concluded her section with, you have to follow up. You can do this in an automated fashion with an email autoresponder series, or you can call them depending on how your squeeze page is set up and what information you are capturing. Okay, so I will upload a vendor list of solo ads that you can, that are recommended by internet marketers that have helped people transition and hit some full-time goals and be able to go full-time as well. I also want to, some people have been asking about the group coaching component and our one-on-one programs, because one-on-one programs are available. And depending on the, again, we'll have a conversation, make sure it works with your budget. You have a marketing budget left over for your business, so you can do some paid marketing along with free marketing. But one of the added benefits to the group coaching and our one-on-one coaching program is that we also, we do provide entire, what I like to call like a little directory, or a black book. Okay. And so, Lauren, do you guys see the list or my site? Not my site. Do you see my screen? Is it coming out okay?
I'm not currently seeing your screen. I'm just
Just
seeing
your
your
picture.
webcam.
Okay, let me do that one again. I
Yeah.
thought I was sharing the whole time. I had like nice slides all prepared out and everything. Um, all right,
There you
it
go.
should be showing. Okay, perfect. So one of the components, again, an added benefits to our group coaching program and the one-on-one series is that we do have entire vendor, a compiled little black book of contacts for vendors who can help you regardless of the traffic source that you are looking to promote. And you're looking to launch for your particular blog site. All right. This is so if you want to do ad swaps, I mean, virtually every major and little niche ninja strategy, there are vendors on there that's been part of, Screen. We've done business with them. And so it's readily available for you to go at your own pace, right? Now, part of what we do to provide added value to our members is that, we compile our own list on top of that of vendors that we've personally done business with to help shorten your time frames and your learning curves. So do not buy any solo ads up until I can get that vendor list up. And I would say that should go live by Wednesday, since I'm going to do paid traffic on the website you see right now, along with some free ones. Okay, so let me bring everybody up to speed with what happened with my website and the layout, right? Because a lot of the our group coaching and our first timers were emailing, you know what, we feel like we're all over the place. We want to talk about this, but we also want to talk about that. How do we kind of bring that all in? Okay, and how do we bring it under the umbrella of a financial journey or a success journey blog? Okay, or website. And so here's how I was able to put that all together. If you noticed last week, and you can watch the replays, the site definitely looked a little clunky just on the main headers and layout. So I was able to clean everything up. And so my main pages are the following. Okay, I want somebody to go to the site, get a ton of value, and learn a little thing or two, especially if they're brand new, right? So there's a section on here that says start here, DIY, do it yourself, right? If they don't know what that means, hopefully they're curious enough and they click on it. Okay, so I've got that section here to the site, and this is where I have a video series. Basically, our 12 noon session video series is on here broken down to give everyone an overview about how an income website works and what it can do for them, right? And I am actually going to take every single video that is on here, and I'm further going to break it down into smaller training series or bits of information that I will use as lead magnets that I'm going to be posting on YouTube, okay, social media, Twitter, Pinterest, so that I can build some online free traffic from those mini snippets and segments. It's going to act as like trailers or previews into this main series or this main section, right? And I'm also going to use those smaller bite-sized videos. For example, you're looking at a 30-minute video. We covered about 2 topics in this video. So I'm going to have 2 15-minute videos talking about the topics in this section, and I'll have individual posts out of that. Okay, so this is the start here, do it yourself section. Now, since I'm doing a lot of free traffic and I'm connecting with people that have never come across me before, new people, I want people to get to know who I am, get to know what our company is about, what our story is, where we're looking to go, so that they can decide for themselves, you know what, this is a pretty cool person, or I like the team environment that they got going on. And, it looks like their end goals are similar to mine. So this section is for that, right? To cater to to our new subscribers and to cater to cold traffic. When you do paid media like solo ads, the chances are these people have never heard of you or me. Okay, we're just getting started in this space, in this industry. And so I want to have this site on here so that they continue to stay on the website and explore it a little bit more. Now, what have I done with my story? This page, okay, these are all pages within the website. I've put together a long version and a short version of my story and some of the goals and benefits from hitting some of the income and financial goals that we have done. Okay, I'm also going to have one of our virtual assistants transcribe these videos so I can, again, build an article out of it or rip and do an MP3 series, download like an audio file, for example. Okay, and again, you can use those as lead magnets. Now, if you're part of our group coaching component or you're one of the accountability members, right, working closely with Steve, then you do have access to these videos. And I'm going to show you how the Done For You component works in the group coaching program and with our accountability partners, so that you aren't racking your brains on what you're going to post on what day. All right. You will always have fresh content that you can use for as long as we're pumping them out and we're working together. Right. So that's this particular segment. Now, as part of my story, because these are main pages, okay? These are main pages in howtomakemoneyonline.com GPC that I've added, okay? So these are like the main umbrellas, the main content of information that everything is going to get filed under. So I'm going to go log into my my WordPress site, okay? And under my story, I have a couple of things that I'm very passionate about and very active or interested in. For example, I love adventure and obstacle course racing. I'm an adrenaline junkie. We're going skydiving for my birthday. If you guys ever want to go skydiving, we've got a nice little spot picked out here just outside of San Diego. So we're doing that. And I love to travel. So instead of building a whole nother website on travel and all that good stuff, I'm using it as a way for me to connect, build trust, rapport with my audience so that they get to see the different sides of who I am and why they should sign up and join my tribe, join my list, or become a subscriber. So that's what I'm talking about. Health and fitness, right? This is another activity or industry that I'm very interested in. And so I'll be talking about different, workout programs that I'm trying. I've tried Rush Fit. I've gone through the P90X series. We've done Tap Out. I've done Insanity. And so, stuff that I just, really like to do and mix things up and stay active and healthy. So I'm going to have, posts about different workouts that I'm trying. So my avatar is somebody that wants to build a business, an income producing website. It's the type of person that's adventurous. It's the type of person that loves to travel, right? Rather than just making a ton of money, okay? They're more interested in building life experiences and really have some cool stories and adventures, like to do a bucket list. So it just so happens that we've been able to hit some serious income goals, along the way, right? Which allows us to, which allows me to fund all of my travels, all of the fun activities that we get to do. I think next month we're gonna go. We're doing skydiving this month. Next month we are going to go NASCAR racing. So they're going to actually let me drive a NASCAR and whip around the little circle there. It's fantastic, some of the stuff you get to do out here. All you have to do is sign a waiver. It's really economical. Like most people think you have to drop an arm and a leg. Not at all. Not at all. I think skydiving is going to cost us $150 with video as opposed to $300, $400, $500 packages, right? So I've added these components under my story. So this is where you're going to incorporate your other hobbies, your other passions, your other interests, the stuff that makes you you. And if you don't have other hobbies, for example, Lauren is part of a bird club. Steve Clutch, our accountability, our point of contact for accountability group, he's into video games, right? So you can build those into your website so that people can kind of get to know you, and you can also tag those with affiliate links or offers once you've established and set a nice tone for it. Okay. Then I have our join us now live segment. And then this particular page, again, these are all pages. Okay. These are not article posts. These are pages. I'm going to show you how I've organized it. Okay. So these are pages inside of the website. This is where articles and posts and videos will be filed underneath, right? Under Join Us Now Live, this is going to house the daily training session. So when somebody clicks this, they are going to be able to be redirected. They watch a little video explaining what this webinar series is about, kind of like what you saw before you registered for this webinar, where it's a squeeze page that talks about internet marketing or what we've done or what they're going to learn and what we're going to cover. Okay. And again, if you are in our group coaching or an accountability partner for us, then you will you can use this as a form of a list building tool or a lead magnet. Okay. I will record a video alongside of you. We may have our other members and participants in this little success journey. along with maybe another co-host or panelist, and we'll record a little video together so that they can see you and your website. There's a brand familiarity on there, but they're also able to see the type of back end support and track record of who they're working and dealing with, right? My mentors always advised me whenever you follow a coach, mentor, or leader, make sure they have the kind of lifestyle and they have the track record for the goals that you're looking to set, right? Because that speaks a lot to the quality of their training and the direction that they're going. So we'll record a little squeeze page video right alongside you. And when they register on that squeeze page, they go onto your list. Okay. So you're able to build a list from this free little webinar series and have a nice subscriber base. After they opt into the squeeze page, we'll break this down in a separate video. Okay, after they opt into that squeeze page, they would either be automatically registered for the 12 noon session, or they would have to click something else to make sure that they are registered. But the most important thing is that they go onto your list and they have a means to register for the 12 noon session, as opposed to them just registering to join our webinar series. And again, they're not on your list. Does that make sense? Lauren, did we kind of break that down? Because we had a lot of questions on that one last week on how the webinar series is going to be used as a list building tool.
Yeah, it's very clear to me, so I hope that everybody else they got that because yeah, it made sense on my end.
Awesome, awesome. And then I'll get you guys a sample. You know what? Do we have a sample? I think we do. Let me show you guys what it's going to look like. Again, preview of how this is going to play out, right? So we can get a visual on it and it makes sense to you guys as well. So let me go ahead and try to pull that one up here. So that's the Join First Now Live component. Now, when it comes to traffic and training, okay, this is where I got these used to be the pages, the main titles you see popping up on there, and it just looked all clunky and wasn't the kind of clean layout I was looking for. But these are the four main 5 main topics that I'm going to be talking about on this website and ongoing throughout the year. Building their subscriber base or building their list. Hold on, guys. I have another, trying to open that, show you guys that example so you guys can visualize it or have a visual. I'll be talking about search engine optimization or SEO, entry-level stuff and advanced stuff for any of these topics, social media. I'm launching a Facebook paid marketing campaign to drive to my blog and increase my subscribers this week. So you'll see that. I'm also going to do solo ads this week as a little example. And we have some members that are going to be doing solo ads. Kyle's already looking into it. And then I'm also going to be sharing stories and meetings. This stories and meetings section is it's gonna be like, I used to run a marketing and sales office in San Diego, Colorado, San Francisco, where else did we? Minnesota and Dallas. And every day everybody would come in, we would share stories and like have a little hoorah type of meeting, get everybody in the zone. And so this is where I can document and record all of these different stories, lessons, insights, and I want to put it on here under traffic and training. Last but not the least is the WordPress how-to section, right? So that anybody who wants to jump into WordPress can follow along here step by step. Now, if you guys haven't seen our WordPress walkthrough videos, let me get that over to you right now. I think my internet is okay, but for some reason, this website won't open. Bingo. All right. So for the life of me, that one won't open, but let me try using another browser, see if this will get things going here. Kyle, so we can offer your series as a list building tool. Yes, that is correct. In fact, I would encourage you to do it. That's one of the, collectively as a group, we have, I would say, once a month hands-on training with our higher level advanced internet marketers, coaches, trainers. So there's about a once a month. Now, the thought process there is instead of having to wait once a month, if we just rolled out our own daily training series, then everybody has fresh content created and an ongoing tool that they can use to promote and build up their networks. On Facebook alone, using Facebook events for the webinars, I've been able to build 50 to about 100 people just off of Facebook events. And I'll show you how that's going to play out. That is a free traffic method that drives people onto our list. And I'll show you the actual hard numbers because I ran these in the very first week so that we would have some examples on the later ones. And then we're going to test the ongoing campaign. So we have some stuff that's prepared. You ever watch a cooking show? They put the pie in the oven, like 2 minutes later, they got a pie cranked out already. So it's kind of like that. And then, at the end, they also pull out the fresh pie to show you that, hey, the pie actually works, right? Or the oven was actually in fact cooking it. So yes, that is we will have that as part of the series. All right, it's taken a little while for the squeeze page to load, but let me show you the WordPress videos here on how you can access that. Lily is asking, hello Gil, is WordPress videos something that I need to learn from to set up my landing? No, Lily, you have a dedicated training series that I've assigned for you. Stick with that one. Okay, stick with that first. Now, for those of you that are a little bit intimidated by WordPress, if you watch the training videos, they're very simple and we really break them down. I have another grandpa that is part of this series. So I use them as my benchmark. If they get it, the rest of the group tends to be able to follow along. And so it does start with how to buy a domain name here on the lower left, connecting the domain name, installing WordPress. If you're using a different hosting account, I have a separate video on the other hosting account that we recommend. Installing your theme up to updating your permalink structure and then installing the actual plugins. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 short videos on how you can have a WordPress website in under an hour. Super killer list building tool. And you will have access to these videos. Now, we are going to set up a file where you're going to copy paste the embed codes. Okay, so there will be embed codes that you can copy paste and enter them as posts here on your blog, however which way you want to use the content, as long as, again, you're active in our group coaching program or as an accountability partner, right? Please keep that one in mind because it's members only that have, if you see it's like a little private on there, only the members have the password in order to be able to swipe the embed codes and use those particular files. All right. Let's see here. I will have the squeeze page for you in a second. I don't know if you guys remember this squeeze page. I would recommend we record the side-by-side video. It's not required, but again, it helps, right? For example, they land on Kyle's website, they see Kyle's face, they see him on there. They go to a squeeze page, they see Kyle's face, they see the connection, they see me, so they know we work together, right? We bring the credibility and the track record, to the table. They know Kyle is the local point of contact, and so they should do business with Kyle, and that's how we are converting it, right? That's how we are converting it. Is this the squeeze page? Load. Yeah, there's a better conversion rate when they see that link, when they see you and then they see me, as opposed to just transitioning. They go from from Lauren, then they see this dude with a beard. It's like, what's this guy have to do with it? So we will record a separate video that would help build out and carry out that branding. This is another feature I like about Webinar Jam. Some of you guys were asking about Webinar Jam. um, is that when they opt in, they automatically get added to your list. There's no double opt-in required. If you don't have a squeeze page, or it's priced out, right? What do you do? Paid marketing, sign up for leadpages.net. If you had to pick between the two, I would say go with paid marketing or paid traffic, and then we can use one of our squeeze pages, and we'll email you the list, right? So we can email you the list, and that way you don't have to choose between the two. Now, once the dough starts rolling in and you start making some sales or doing some ad revenue, then you can purchase the other accounts that you want. But for those that are step by step, starting out entry level, then you can piggyback off of some of our corporate accounts. Yes, that's the one, Lilia. That's it. Just follow that one. It doesn't get any clearer than that. You're kind of dealing with the guy that I report. So yes, you're good to go there. Now, an alternative. So we're clear on the website, the squeeze pages, how that's going to work. You guys will get access to this content no later than tomorrow for a group coaching, so you can start posting your stuff. Last but not the least, if WordPress is just too intimidating for you, okay, then our group coaching, part of that already includes a blogging platform or a simple website layout type of design. It's already included in the group coaching program. Most people are like, well, we don't have anything to use. Well, we'll just throw it into that package, problem solved, right? So there is a simple layout use or a simple blog, and it is, once you master, get comfortable working with that, then you can you can move up into WordPress. But for, I would say, like $30 a month is includes the blogging platform, hosting, and any of the built-in SEO features as part of that. Okay. So let me show you what that website would look like to give you an idea, or if you wanted other options. Gil, you have testimonials on your site. What if we don't have any? Then you would leverage the program company offer that you're currently promoting or will plan to promote. Okay, so for example, if you are in the insurance services, I keep going back to insurance because that was one of our original participants, comes from an insurance industry or background. Then if you're promoting Geico, all right, if that's the insurance company you're selling, you're doing opt-in rates, uh, that type of program, um, use Geico's track record, branding, and company. They will provide all that for you in their affiliate program, and use their marketing material, basically, right? Their track record. It doesn't necessarily have to be you per se. That's when it comes to the offers. Now, if you're part of our group coaching or we're working with you in the accountability part, then you have somebody or a group that is bringing together a track record of generating an income producing website, successfully producing and hitting targets month after month, or they have the success stories where people are going from zero to hero or hitting the goals that they are looking for. Again, there are smart ways to leverage using the internet. That's what I love about it. So that website, Gil, is each blog separate on there? Do we have multiple blogs with one account? Kelvin, great question. Within the group membership price point, I think it's like $30 a month. It's definitely not more than that, which includes your hosting and the SEO tools that are integrated on there, and somewhere where you can post your stuff. you can have multiple blogs. Okay, so you can talk about your real estate business. Kelvin, I know you're in real estate. You can talk about your, your two different markets. You do deals in the Midwest, you can have a separate blog for markets on the East Coast, right? Maybe it's a little bit different or quirk, so you want to keep them separate. Or you can talk about fly fishing on one blog, and then on the other blog, you can talk about your other hobby, which is wood carving, right? So this is the design, this is the simple layout that I was talking about, on how it's a very, you log in, you post, you pick if you want to use an article, if you want to use a video, or if you want to use an image, and then you just go through the embed instructions, and it's all on there in sequence, step by step. So this is what it will look like in the form of a simple website slash blogging platform. Looks very similar to our main site that we use on WordPress, but I've graduated from the, I'm using both, right? So this particular site is based all around real estate, right? So all I talk about on this website is real estate training, best practices, all that good stuff. And this is the blog that houses all my content, right? Now that I want to integrate internet marketing and start to break into that field, or really build out a separate revenue stream and a niche around it, then I'm using WordPress now, since I've got the basics, down pat, and I want to do some advanced, medium to advanced stuff in terms of promotions and marketing using the WordPress site. Okay, Kelvin, sound just dropped. It is now back up. Hopefully that addressed your question on there. You can have multiple blogs, Kelvin, separate ones. It doesn't have to all be in one page. They won't even see the other blogs. And I think you can have as many as you can have multiple blogs. I don't want to say it's unlimited, but I can't imagine you have more than 100 when you're first starting out, but you can have multiple ones. Okay. Now, last but not the least, Anthony was asking about social media. So my social media accounts are all linked now to my WordPress site. Okay. If you click on Facebook, you'll be able, sorry, this page isn't available, broken or maybe removed, so we might have to fix that. Is the Instagram working? Oh, you know what? Let's fix it right now. That's under the themes, appearance, themes, and there's going to be specific options that I can tinker with on here under social media settings. So Facebook, enter your Facebook page username. Okay, so here's why they're not working. So that you guys avoid that, you actually just have to enter your username, except for Google+. I didn't have a Pinterest account, so I signed up for one. And we'll start using Pinterest on here. Google+, that has to have the full link. And then LinkedIn, and so options is updated. I will refresh my site so that hopefully it kicks in, and we'll find out. All right, so that popped up. I've started with the setup, but would like to have 5 blogs. All right, yeah, I mean, if you can maintain, use the calendar. Make sure you have a time or a schedule so that you can post your content. Try to find ways to repurpose content and maximize the stuff that you're creating, right? There we go. So I had to open it in another browser. It's still asking for twitter.com. It's a double address on here, so I don't think it's kicked in yet. Yeah, I have to wait until the server pops up and finally updates the link. So we may just review that one tomorrow, at least to make sure that it's working. Yeah, so because before I had the whole web address on there, right? So when you click on it, it puts in the web address, and technically you're just supposed to have a username here. So if we just had the username on there, this is the web address that would appear, and it would direct us to my Twitter account, for example, right? So make sure you're only putting usernames under the social media settings, except for Google+. All right. So outside of that, Lauren's going to continue her paid traffic, breaking down a couple best practices there. Again, solo ads, don't buy anything until I can get you a list by Wednesday. And it'll also have a tracking file for your solo ads. So you can try 2 or 3 vendors. You can track what you spent, how many clicks were associated with each campaign, and what the conversion was. So that way you can track it over time and eventually start to figure out which vendor you want to stick with in the long haul. And yes, to answer your question, Jimmy, solo ads in itself can just be your one traffic source that you master and build out your income website from. Okay. We'll also put together a paid marketing campaign under Facebook. So we'll do some Facebook paid traffic to capture subscribers. All right. Lauren will do her segment tomorrow. I will have all my content, or at least new content and updated on my main website. And you guys will also get the link where you can copy these embed codes so that you can place them on your site or individual YouTube channels. Anthony, I got a little pop-up for you on Facebook chat. All right, so good to hear, Anthony. You are getting more calls than you anticipated from your marketing campaign. That's a good problem to have. The Whisper says post-it notes, Mark. Got it. So we have to change the Whisper. That's a pretty cool feature where when somebody calls you and you have a lead source, for example, if you're doing Facebook, if somebody calls you off your Facebook campaign, the phone system's going to tell you it's from Facebook, so you know where the lead is coming from, gives you a background, right? We just have to, so we have to change that so that you know it's from Craigslist, for example, or whatever the lead source is. I missed a number of calls over the last few days. No problem. We'll send you a call report, my friend. That's why I love tracking numbers so that you can make sure you get back to these people. But glad to hear that calls are coming in. Whew. All right. Other than that, thanks for joining us here, guys. And we'll see you next tomorrow. All right. Cool. Steve, Lauren, looks like you're going to sidebar your conversation. Anthony, we will see you in your area tonight. So that's pretty cool. Outside of that, guys, thanks for jumping on the session. And Lauren, I was trying to pull it up on the session, but the music kept playing in the background. So I will have to send that to you once we go offline here. All right. But that's where we're at. We'll do some paid marketing this week. And I would say, I'm trying to time it with where our group is so that we can all kind of move together as a unit. I want to do paid marketing tomorrow, but we still have some people trying to get caught up on the site and they're literally trying to keep up with our pace. But the 1,000 subscriber goal, I would like to hit that by the end of next week. Okay, end of next week. And so we'll do some paid traffic this week so we can push for our 1,000 subscriber goal by the end of, I would say, next week, give or take. We may update that depending on how the group is going. All right. So Lauren, let's go ahead and say goodbye to our group here before we officially jump off the session. And any last tips from you before we hop off, or we'll just see everybody tomorrow? You might be on self-mute. Go ahead.
Do you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, awesome. So everything's good to go. I think the biggest thing is just to keep on track. Any kind of action is better than no action. So just make sure you are following along with us. And, if you don't have an existing website, make that your top priority because you need to have, like you say, if you're going to open up, a mini mart, you need to have stuff on the shelves before you go promote it. So make sure that you guys have the website up first.
Awesome. So we'll see you guys first thing tomorrow. Post will be made available by tomorrow. Paid marketing is this week. Lauren's got some other strategies to roll out and implement. I'm going to be doing both paid and free. Okay, both paid and free stuff. And just off of the webinar series, off of Facebook, that should help build your list or at least start to build up your authority, your branding, and letting everybody, letting your subscribers and the crowd coming to your site what it is this site's for, and the goals and the desired outcome there. So thanks for hopping on, everyone. My name is Gil. On behalf of Lauren and Steve, we'll see you tomorrow, 12 noon Pacific time. Bye, everyone.